You see.
All right. Well, wait. I see a banner ad at the bottom of the page for Sticker Mule.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. But see, I don't see it on my device. So
I see nothing in the header.
Yeah, Ryan, maybe we can check this before somebody else jumps in. So I'm having a challenge with banner ads. Reach out to tech support, and and maybe you can also log into my account as well as just go to the homepage. But if you go to Podcasters Directory, just curious what you see before you log in. So I put a Sticker Mule ad on there, just kind of experimenting with some stuff. And initially, I put it as an embedded code, and it worked like a charm, like immediately. There was, and so not so much on the home page, but when I clicked on, there it is on the. Okay, so you're seeing it on the.
It's in the footer, sure.
But see, it doesn't on my. If I go to on my computer, maybe it's my ad blockers, I guess. Yep. But how do we? Is there a setting where we can have people so their ad blocker doesn't prevent that?
Yes. So where you need to go for that is and I'm
going to turn off my ad blocker real quick just to see. But also, it didn't appear in the header. It's only appearing in the footer. Let me see. Don't run pages on this site. And I later decided I don't know if I really want it in the header, because then it appears on every member's profile. It kind of disrupts their thing.
I think it's in general settings. Hold on. I think it's in the integrations on the general settings. Let me check that real quick. Actually, let me go. Let's invite one real quick.
I didn't think I had I don't see where to turn off my ad blocker on my. Here it is.
I thought it was in there. All right, hold on. I don't ever use that one, so I know that's a. Ad block detector. There we go. Oh, it is in the banner ads. Okay, there we go. Oh, duh, that makes sense.
Right.
So it's in the design settings, in the ad, the banner code here. Once it shows up. So down here at the bottom, it's got the ad blocker message, and you can actually enable the notification mode or enable content block content mode. Or you can disable it. And so what that does is if you have a notification mode on there, it basically it does this soft, nice, hey, and you can change the title here. Oh, we've noticed an ad blocker. And then he basically kind of gives a soft thing of like, oh, I'm gonna the money we earn from that supports the local website. And then you can say, just have a button. It doesn't do anything. It just says, I will whitelist, and it's kind of, and then they click it. And then it just goes away. And so it's kind of a soft thing, like just, hey, by the way, a whitelist it. Okay, I'll do that. And then they don't have to. It's just like, okay, thanks. If I respect you or want to support your site, I'll turn that off or whatever. The other option is the block content mode, and it doesn't give them the option to just go away. It literally just sits there without the button, and it just keeps popping up over top of it. It's kind of a brute force thing of like, hey, I'm not going to show you anything or be able to use my website at all. Either turn that thing off or go visit another website is what that kind of tells your users.
Okay, that sounds kind of harsh. Let's do the other one.
So you could just do the notification mode. So I'm not logged in as you. I can do that in a minute, but this is mine. But it's just in the banner ad design, and then you probably want to customize the message to whatever you want anyway on what you want to say for the title, and then the message, and then the button. But so that's where it's at. But it does have that capability.
Now, why isn't the because I changed my settings on my computer to allow pop-ups or displays but it's only appearing on the footer. Let me see. It's appearing on the header now.
Well, there's no header on the front page. There's no header on the main page. So
not on the front page. When I was clicking before, when I had it working, it would appear if I clicked on a member per se. Or under say the get matched.
Yeah, it's not on there, but again, you can turn that on per membership plan as well. So I don't remember your settings, but maybe this is a premium one. You turn the ads off on the profile,
or maybe if I'm not logged in, is there a setting where you can say don't show banner ads unless the person's logged in, just visitors? But it was showing on the footer, and you guys are not logged in as a member.
Or is that for them? Oh, that's their banner. Okay.
Yeah.
No, so it doesn't have the way it's set up is it's per membership level for anybody watching here or on the replay. But it's set up on a per membership level setting, and so you would say, hey, does this person have ads on their in their back end or on their profile? Dashboard, or do they have it on their profile? And that's a per membership level item, not a who's logged in. So it doesn't say, oh, John's logged in, he's a premium member, he doesn't see ads anywhere on the site because he's a paying member. It's basically on what membership he's viewing.
Yeah, but
not who's logged in. Now you could set it up like that. You could custom code it to, and wrap all the ads on those widgets in code to say, hey, if you're a premium member and you've paid, you don't actually see any ads.
Right.
At all, on
the whole site. Enable. I'm going to turn on that enable feature right now because it was working. I think that's probably what I tweaked. I must have tweaked both of them because I couldn't figure out why it was working and not working. Yeah, it's weird because the first day I did it, the banner ad, like if I clicked on any of the tabs like Marketplace or Get Matched or FAQ, it would appear at the top, with the same embedded code, the same ad, the same. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I think I turned on this ad. I got to delete the image. I want to use the banner ad as an embedded code for the header. This should do it right now.
All right, because you got to make sure that you pick the right. What he's saying is you got to make sure you pick the embed code vice the image, right?
Yeah, it's still not working. Let me see if it's I mean, not really a game changer because I really, for this purpose, I just want it to appear at the bottom, but
yeah. So one way you can do that as a for everybody watching, I guess, in terms of the just checking to make sure that that you got it set up and it's working good. You can always just grab, here's the widget code for this one. If that, if that's where you're doing the header banner, just grab that widget code, make a new, edit a web page, just add a new web page, custom page, new web page, and just add that one widget in there and save it, and then open it up, and then if that display is the only thing on that page, it's not really a settings-based thing. It's just on the page. If it shows up, then that widget's working, the banner thing's working. It's just you can narrow it down and maybe go check the setting at that point.
Well, that's actually kind of cool because they can make it kind of customized. Because I anticipate selling banner ads, and then I can sell multiple ones going to appear on specific pages. So, can you show me real quick? Let's put that that QR code or that embedded code in one of those pages, say under the the marketplace, whatever, the marketplace page.
Okay, you want me to log in as you?
Yeah, maybe, and then
okay. Give me a second. I have it takes a few minutes to log out of my site because I have so many of them. They need to work on that because it takes forever. So give me 5 minutes while we're working there.
Let me try it on my end because I think I got the gist of what you're saying. So if I go to my thing and I go to edit web pages, and then I pick a page here.
Yeah, you could pick any custom page that you have, right? Yeah. So if you're going to add it on find resources, you could add it at the top here, for example.
Yeah, I'll put it under mission, for example. So edit the page. And then where do I put remind me how do
you put it wherever you want. Just grab that custom code and
the
just
code view. The embedded code there. I'm using the code view. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I save it. And now, voila, you guys should be able to see it in real time as well. So just go to the home page and then, there it is. Okay. Slick. That's actually, I really like that even better because, I was having it appearing as the header, but then by default it would appear on pretty much every page I would click on, Marketplace, Get Matched, FAQ, and then the same banner is always going to appear. I like this where I can embed it on a very specific page, pertinent, like buy our merch or whatever, or I can sell that ad based on a nonprofit. I can sell that ad based on you're going to appear on a certain page.
Exactly. So, there's a couple of limitations on terms of the actual search results, or like doing a dynamic page is a little bit different. You have to make a static page for the search results or whatever, but that's a little bit more complex. We've gone over that before in other webinars, but just in terms of the banner ad design, and I went over this with a client the other day, and hopefully everybody here realizes there's only a certain number of ones in here for static banner ads. You have, specific locations, and this stuff's already in the code. Right. Where you just add it here, and it you don't have to add the widget anywhere. They're already in the code there, and it just shows up in the footer header. These are ones that you would normally add to the sidebar, for example, but you could put 5 ads in here, and you can edit the image or whatever. But it's using that particular. This is responsive size 2, responsive size 3, and so wherever you add that widget, like if you drag that widget into a sidebar. That's where that ad is going to do. But you can also add this anywhere on your site and have that ad show up. However, let's say you're selling different ones for different pages, and you're on the banner ad 6 and 7 and 8 and 25, right? All you have to do is add a new widget. You literally could call it Bootstrap theme banner responsive size 38, right? But I'll just show you how to do that real quick. You literally just go to Toolbox, Widget Manager, right? If you're going to use that same, naming scheme that you want, I would just do that. And then, so this would be, responsive size number 38. And then that same code that you would have added into that banner ad section, just put it here in the HTML or JavaScript, CSS, whatever, save that. And then now you have your Bootstrap banner responsive size 38, and you can add that just like you did just now, or anywhere else. You can add that widget to anywhere on your site, and it will add that particular ad in there. So one use case that some people have used is you don't necessarily label it generic like that. You go, you literally just call it banner. So that's sticker mule, right? The banner sticker mule, and so. You just name it that, and now anytime, anywhere, at any place you want to add the sticker mule banner, you just add the short code for the widget for banner sticker mule, and then if you're like, no, I want it to be, pro podcaster or whatever, I don't know thing, but and then you can just add that wherever you want, and you can dynamically just know right away you can place any ad you want anytime, just because you name it the same, banner dash whatever X, Y, or Z.
That's way cool. Yeah, that's even beyond the customization, I imagine. So thanks.
So one of the other options, we'll go down this rabbit hole just a little bit here, because there's a lot of people asking for that. I think they're just spending some more time on their websites, getting to the point where they want to try to monetize a little bit more.
Right.
But there's a lot of different services out there that do that kind of dynamic placement. And just so you can actually sell advertising, I'll just go over one real quick here that I've used in some other clients have used and works pretty well with the BD system, and it's called Ad Plug. Now, there's a lot of other ones like that are like server managers. This one's just good because it starts out with free. Everybody likes free,
right.
And it has up to 100,000 ad serves per month without having to pay for it. So it has some extra capability, for types of ads, in the pro or paid levels, but this one usually does the work for everybody for free. And what it basically does is you set up different areas of your website. So let's say right here on your mission page, you would have it put a zone here. It would be mission header zone, right? Okay. And you would create different zones on your website with different sizes. Maybe this is maybe the mission zone, but it's not the header. Maybe you have a sidebar where it's a different size. So you can create different ad space zones, and then also create like segments, like I guess groupings of ads where somebody can post to a particular grouping, and it'll show on several zones at a time. So let's say you had a sidebar zone here that's on this page, but you also had a sidebar zone on the search results, or a sidebar on profiles, and then you could put that in one grouping. So if they place an ad, it would actually rotate between any of those pages because it's in the same grouping profile. So you use ad at once, it'll rotate that ad through any of those particular 4 pages I just talked about. Let's say there's maybe you're charging extra to be on the homepage. So maybe there's exact same size ad, but it's on the homepage now. Now that's in a different profile. So you may be charging one fee to be in one profile, but if you want to be in the profile that includes the homepage, that's maybe a separate price. So it sets all those up. You set up the size, the zone, and the profiles, and then it basically gives you a code that goes in there one time, just kind of like it would for an AdSense or whatever. But it would basically be, for example, this would be one code here for the for that profile, for that size in the mission zone. You add that in there one time, and you never have to change your BD site at all. And then what you would do in this and the backend server for here, since this is the ad server, when you log in, you basically would create an ad for somebody if they pay for it. You would basically just place the ad in here, upload the image, and then it would dynamically serve that to the proper spots on your site. Wow. And rotate them without you actually changing the code. Because the way this normally sets up there is it's Sticker Mule. And it's Sticker Mule only, right? You have to go in there and change the code and the size or the image or whatever in order for it to have something else. So these are basically rotating servers where it allows you to add, put an ad in there. I'll kind of show you guys real quick how it's set up.
That's pretty slick. While you're logging into that, could you also set it up where different membership levels would receive different ads? I know you can turn the ads on and off. So like for our highest paid level member, the Rockstar, either, we can turn that off because we've already generating revenue from that. People don't generally like to see ads, but could you customize that they only receive kind of like high ticket item ads as opposed to the lower ticket items kind of thing?
It would be a little bit more coding, but you definitely could. So what you would do is you'd wrap that particular in that widget. You would wrap that code into, if you're the premium member, you get one ad plug code, or if you're a general member, you'd get a different one. So you basically would have 2 scripts in there, and it'd kind of be an if-then kind of thing. But you would just see different ads based on what membership. Yep, you can totally do that.
One last quick question. You weren't mentioning this, but you're talking about rotating. But can you rotate ads, and so the banner will circle around 2 or 3 different ads on that same page while they're camped out there?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is I'll just show you an example here. So this is a sidebar zone, for example. So if I go in that sidebar zone, I basically say, hey, I want a max of 3 ads on there at a time. You can put the size restrictions and kind of save that so people can, you can upload different, sizes, so you can have a size limit. So that you set that up with the zone. And then if you go to the placements is kind of what I was talking about there, where you can pick which zones are in there. And so here's where you do the rotation thing. So you could basically set an order of which order different ads go in. You could set a start and end date for a particular thing. So say, hey,
it's seasonal,
seasonal. And then you can do static or you can do random. So you could do a rotation interval of timing on that. And then you can also target which zones or pages that particular ad goes on. You can kind of restrict it by, only show it on blog, only show it on your articles. You can kind of list it, which one goes in which one. And then the last part there, after you set all that up, is and obviously it takes a little bit of time to initially do it, but once you're set, it's done. You then add the ads in there. And so when you place an ad, so here's just an example ad, you would say, hey, here's the click-through link. Here you can, change the order of the ad. And then again, depending on whether you're in the pro level or the free one's basically just normal images, but you can get to all sorts of Gucci advertisement types, and I can show you that in a second. But you basically add the file, and you can set up the scheduling. Say this goes in the sidebar ad placement targeting section, and then you just set those up, and now it'll run in that order for those dates with that image on those particular listings or whatever.
Wow, Ryan, this is huge. I wish I would have known about this a few weeks ago, but because we just did a sponsorship for the podcast movement, the largest podcasting event in the world, and it just wrapped up today. It was running for like 2 weeks, and I kept modifying the pricing tables to mention the promotion, the discount during the run of the event. But man, I could have customized an ad and said podcast movement special, 25% off, whatever, right?
Right, you could actually do a banner. Yeah, exactly. It's not really an ad; it's more of just a dynamic
promotion. Yeah, but it'd be a promotion for, our own, internal promotion. So I could have said, podcast movement 25% deal off ends, tomorrow or something like that. Then, because I had to go in and each day and try to remember to update it, this would have timed it out so that. It would have ended on a certain day. Or what I was doing is I was doing 50% off the first day, and each day was 5% off. So I could have put the ad in there and just changed the language and walked away.
Well, yeah, but remember, if you're changing pricing, you probably need to change the back end too. That way.
That's true. Yeah,
so you can't really do that. But here's some other example stuff that you can do as well. Right, so you could do interstitial ads. Right, where you're browsing for a certain time, and then all of a sudden the window pops up with an interstitial ad demo that you have to close out. You could do video ads, basically where you put somebody uploads a video and it just plays in a certain location as somebody pays for an ad. You can do slide in ads, so you're just browsing and all of a sudden it slides in and they're like, oh, new podcast offering.
Right.
So people can pay to do those. You could do dialogue ads, basically. So it'll show up after 5 seconds, and then there you go. So it'll show up at a certain timed event. You can do text link ads, so somebody can pay to just put their you could have it. You could have this on a profile page where you sell the sponsorship. It says this page sponsored by, and just link to the website, and you could that's the ad. It's not an image. You just basically you sell the link and the actual text.
This will be huge for our partnership program. That we created that you created that draft page of all the partner levels.
Yeah,
and on the highest, the platinum down to the bronze or whatever. All these could be incorporated into that pricing table.
Right. You just give it a video setting. So here's a bottom bar. So when you scroll to the bottom, it has a call to action or, hey, buy here. You could also do it at the top. That as soon as you start scrolling, it adds the banner ad to the top of the screen there. So a lot of, and this isn't the only service like that. I mean, these are just some of the stuff that you can do, but now you're selling that stuff. It's more than just put a banner ad there. You can do pop-ups or sell bottom bars, video placements, and all that stuff.
But I love this also. I can see using this soon, as soon as possible, start incorporating like internal messaging. And then once we get the partner program online, then just swap it out with their paid stuff. But internally, to do the pop-ups for the newsletter, join our newsletter, which I know there's widgets for that, but now I just have it integrated where I want it to appear. I just swap that newsletter announcement out with their ad, but also I could do a situation where like reminders to attend this event, a reminder to update your profile, or
right.
Hey, coming soon, we're going to start offering Instagram, or here, take our survey. Welcome.
And we're actually going to talk about that today. This is kind of in line with that of onboarding, or what are you doing to provide information to your users. So, we're going to go into, that's one of the things we're going to talk about today is pop-ups and tool tips and other stuff that you can do. And, this is kind of I guess an alternate way to get a pop-up or something
right.
into your website. Because that's all those literally are ads, right?
Right.
Or a way to get the the information onto your site. So,
well, yeah, let's jump into that because I don't want to run out of time like we did it in the past. But really appreciate this. Not only addressing the reason why my ad banner wasn't appearing because of ad blockers and then where it was placed, but now it gives me like all kinds of possibilities. So awesome.
Yeah, so here's another example of a site that you could I guess sell stuff with. I just want to throw one more out there.
Unless you don't want to sell stuff, anybody, right? Give me a thumbs down if you don't want to sell anything. Yeah, that's what I thought.
So here, this one's another. No, that was not it. Well, AdThrive is. Let me. I think it's this one. Yeah. So Adverserve. This one's a good one too. This kind of has the same thing. Like I was saying, other ones have the same similar stuff. So this is another software everybody can take a look at. So like there's a Lightbox version where it kind of hovers over the stuff and the ad will close in 11 seconds. If they don't do anything, it'll pop back off. It has some of the same things with overlays. They have a pop over under. It has like a smoke screen. This one's kind of interesting. It kind of just does like a little smoke screen overlay ad. Just has some CSS in it. It's not that good. It looks a little bit different. This one has a flipping stuff where the banners will flip on there just to kind of highlight that it's there. This one's expandable. These are kind of cool for this one where you kind of you hover over it and it goes big and then it kind of goes away.
Pretty high tech.
Not cheap.
What was that?
Not cheap.
No, obviously, like I said, these you gotta pay for those. And so this one, did you already look at the pricing there?
Yeah.
But again, if you're selling ads or you're doing stuff like what's cheap, right? So this is it's $149, I think, for this one. So this one starts at $149 and it goes up from there. But again,
nobody needs more than the $149.
I like the ad plug where it's free, and then once you start generating revenue from your advertising, then you can ramp it up, I guess.
Yeah, you can always roll it over, right? It's just kind of one of those things you want to do reinvent the wheel, or you have to go in and set it up on this one. It's kind of up to you, but obviously, how much is $150 a month worth for a year? If is that worth it to move it over once you start making money?
You sell one $500 ad, yeah.
So the interesting one about this one, though, is it has a white label server basically, and it has the ad plug doesn't have the sales engine, I guess, on it, but this one does. So what it basically does, let me try to find some examples here. But basically, when you go in there, they would get a login and they can actually add their own images and buy it and sell, buy different.
Your client, your customer can, the advertiser.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's in the blog. I'm just trying to find a.
Well, that's cool. Instead of having to create a bunch of different pricing tables with add-ons and everything else,
Yeah, let me go to the user manual.
Selling the basic package. And then they can do add-ons to their advertising package. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, so let me see publish.
But that would be down the road once you start
Anyway.
generating the revenue. But yeah, I'm real anxious to hear about the the onboarding, because that's a huge challenge that we have and never really kind of gotten very good at that.
90% worked out, but we do have one major problem, which Ryan and I are going to try to get solved.
All right, let's do it. Let's jump into it.
All right. So let's go to that for today. We already talked about the ad blocker, so give me a second here.
Is there a widget? Is there a tool or a widget where when they go to the site, it automatically gets their credit card and makes them pay with their credit card?
For that ad plug?
No, for anything. Can they just land on my site and then automatically grab their wallet and make them pay?
Yeah, it just automatically pops up with a thank you for providing your information.
I'm having that done at Upwork. We're on it.
Nice.
Thank you for giving me your retirement plan. Just get pops right up. All right, so can you see the slides there?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so welcome to Directory Webinar number 19. Today's topic, we're going to talk about the helping your customers board the onboarding train and basically getting more engaged and customers into your client base or platform on your BD website. And so one of the, you call it the onboarding train here because it's one of those, when you think about a train, you think about a large moving object, right, that it has a lot of momentum. That just keeps going and it's just rolling by and people, can jump on the train. And that's kind of what you want to set up for your website users as they go to your directory. You want them to get on the train early instead of forgetting that they actually signed up to your website, because you kind of drop off the radar after they log off and or don't get the email or don't read the email or delete it. And then you're kind of out of sight, out of mind, and they never go back to your website. So we're going to talk about that today on how we can prevent that. So we're going to go over some things that some of the other users that I have done. Rich, if you don't mind, we're probably going to jump on yours just to kind of show you what you do as well, just for everybody else to see what you've done. Just kind of see some examples of what other people have done inside of BD. And then just some things to think about for the onboarding process. And then, as usual, Frank mentioned we're going to go over another software, hopefully next week for him that can do some of the stuff. And then we're going to actually go over one today as well of kind of introed a couple weeks ago is basically the onboarding videos. And we're going to show a service for that that everybody can hopefully get one of those for their website as well.
Nice.
So,
yep. Just want to remind you that I need to leave at 3 to get honey. So just so you know, I'm not bugging out on you.
Okay, copy. Well, I should be done in less than 50 minutes, I hope. Okay. Otherwise, I'm really long-winded today. All right, so the first thing I would just throw out this fact for everybody, and I put here a fact on this because I think everybody would agree that if your users don't understand your product, they're not going to use it. I mean, just think about yourself when you go to buy a product or you go to a website. You may sign up for stuff all the time because you're interested, but if you don't actually know how to use it, it's not intuitive. They don't tell you how to do it. A lot of times you don't have time to read the manual unless you're totally into that. You're going to get involved with that system or that platform or that community. You're not going to take the time to read the manual, right? I mean, your car comes with a big manual, and you don't read that.
When is that over? It's just the weather I'm listening to.
I'm going to turn off everybody's audio here real quick. Hold on. All right. Yeah, feel free to jump in again with the audio. Turn it back on if you guys want to. I'm trying to cut down the background noise like normal. So again, I think everybody would realize that, if they don't know it, they're not going to use it. And you do the same thing for anything that you're using throughout there. So the question is, how are you with your directory and your client owners helping people realize how to execute and onboard on your system? How are you telling them what you want them to do? How are you telling them what they should be doing after they do what you want them to do? And how are they going to get involved in the community? Like, how do they get deeper involved with your company, what your website can provide them instead of the one and done. You want to give them reason to keep coming back. And the question is, are you doing that? And how do you do that? And we're going to go over that today. Here's another fact that, and again, I can find the actual source of this, but it's well documented that 75% of users leave within the first week after signing up for an app, a website, and they never come back. And the reason for that is because either one, it didn't meet the requirements of what they wanted. Two, maybe it did meet the requirements, they just didn't know it, right? Because you didn't tell them or provide that for them. Or three, you did, it does meet their needs. You did tell them about it, and they're just lazy or just don't want to even go back there, and they just make the conscious decision that they're moving on or doing something else because they found something else, or they just don't feel like executing, so that some of those things are outside of your control. But when you look at the number of people that leave after the first week, the whole point being that if they leave that soon, if you're not doing something right when they sign up or doing something for them, sending them something or getting them involved in that first week after they sign up, they're not going to come back. And I think a lot of the owners who are have a BD site, probably have a ton of these listings on their site that people signed up, and then they just went dormant. They never signed back in. They never finished their profile. They never, emailed you. They never asked a question, didn't get involved with whatever your niche or your profile is for your website. And they're just basically eating up space on your directory, and or you're kind of wasting your time trying to figure out what their status is or what you need to do with them. And then obviously, you can usually get some of these people back later if you re-engage with them. But they never become an active part of your actual website. So the key thing that some of the stuff we're going to talk today as well is, how can we get some of the users in your directory to engage and do something for them within that first week after signing up that can, get those people involved with your website. And so I think we talked about a couple of these things already, but just want to kind of hit home on why you need to have this. Why do you need to have onboarding for your particular clients? And the reason for having onboarding for everybody is the first thing is you want to engage your customers while they're on their site. I already gave you that stat that you got to get them within that first week or they're leaving, at least for 75% of the people. So you want to engage those customers early. So the first time they're using your service, this, it can be scary and confusing, right? Not necessarily scary, but I guess since it's Halloween, we'll call it scary. But scary in terms of they don't, it's daunting, I guess I would say. They don't know where to start. They're staring at the dashboard with a lot of buttons, and they're just kind of doing the paralysis by analysis. They're going, I don't even know which button to click. I don't know what I need to do. What do I do now that I'm here? And so by delivering that onboarding message early, such as a product tour or welcome pop-ups like we talked about, or Rich was saying, that maybe an image with a special. If you don't do that and you don't engage with your users right from the first moment, you may lose them and they may never come back because you want to reduce the frustration initially to get them involved, get them knowing that they have a spot on your site, something to do, something in your community, but that they're going to want to log back in. Because realize you have as soon as they sign up and they log in, you have their attention. They're on your site already. You don't have to go grab them. You don't have to remind them. They don't have to click on an email to come back to your site. They are already there. And so if you don't take advantage of that initial traction you have in their eyeballs that are on your screen right then, they may not ever come back and log in to see a message later or on a different page. So you want to take advantage of that and engage the customer while they were there on your site. And the second thing that you want to do is reduce the frustration with unknown actions. So, you want to make sure that they can understand your platform quickly through maybe a contextual assistant. And Frank will talk about that next week, where you can basically guide them to do an action or help them do something on a particular page. Basically, they came to your site for a reason. So we've talked about this in other webinars before, but that pain point, that you're either getting rid of a pain point or providing them with some sort of benefit. You want to give them an easy way, and now that they've either paid for a membership or they signed up for free, you want to remind them of what you can do to get rid of that pain point or pressure point for them. And you want to do that right away. And so when they sign up or they log in or pay, you want to go like, remember those pain points I tweaked, and convinced you to join my site? Well, here are the quick links, or here's the information on how to do those two things that I told you we were going to do for you when you signed up. And so it provides that link to that pain point that they're feeling, make sure that they can get rid of that frustration and get that problem. It doesn't have to be solved, but they got to find something on your site of value that kind of gets them down that road of solving that, or at least an inquiry, and then they'll come back to finish the deal later, or to get what they need. But you gotta give them something to know that you're meeting some of their needs. And the third thing is you want to guide them and basically accelerates that onboarding. So like we talked about before, you don't necessarily have a software or maybe an entire system, but there's something to those directories. Everybody wants people to know how to use them. And just by providing that guide through known conversion issues, it's going to keep them around as a client, stop that churn, or make sure that they come back. And you want to do that from the moment they sign in. So it basically just gets them over those conversion issues of why or what they can do on your site. Then the final thing is it can introduce new features or content to them. And again, we already kind of talked about that with the ads here a little bit, but basically you can notify them or provide an update to product documentation, or if you've added a new feature or turned a new feature on for your directory. If maybe the pop-up or the onboarding thing wasn't there last week, but when they show up the following week, they get a notification of something new. And so anytime you can provide them of another reason to come back to your directory or your services that you provide, if you keep adding that stuff in there and introducing them to what you can provide them, they're going to keep thinking of you all the time and can actually, think of maybe solving additional problems they didn't really originally think of, or just realize that you're providing a really good resource for them that they want to come back to time and time again. So those are 4 reasons that you want to have onboarding for your clients. Now, obviously, not everybody's your client, right? And so the next question is, why do you need potential onboarding for your potential clients? So not just for the people that you already got to sign up. Why do you need onboarding for somebody who might be your client? And the reason you need it for both sides is because not only do you want to nurture the people you already have, but you want more members. You want more paid members. You want people to sign up for stuff. And so you can, if you provide that onboarding for people that are not your clients, you can help do these 3 things. And obviously there's more, but we'll just go over 3 today. So the first thing you can do is improve your retention rates. So you can retain those potential leads with, beautiful messages about your hottest features and best-selling items. And again, because you just don't want to know about that if you're already a member. That's what you want to show somebody that is not a member, because you're trying to convince them to sign up. And so the same rule applies to them that haven't already signed up. You want to keep pushing that stuff to them so that they have a reason to come back. And so we've talked about that on other webinars as well, on how to get signups for ebooks or within a chat room to get an email address. But you can send those things out via emails or newsletters or something for people that haven't bought from you, but that signed up or got a list for your particular item. And so you guys probably got an email for the webinar today, potentially. And, I had some information in there, what we're going to go over today. So that's just one example. But again, you want to have that, provide that information for the client to improve retention rates, or to, increase your conversion rates. And that would be the second one, is that you can increase your conversion rate because what you can do too, if you're using these contextual pop-ups, or if you're providing those ads, again, like we were saying, you can present them with special offers and discount codes directly on your website to convert them into buyers. If you have something, a software system that kind of does those push notifications where they sign up with their Chrome browser and you can accept to have a push notification, you can actually do a push notification to them when they're not even on their page and pull them back in with a special discount code and to have them sign up. So that's kind of an onboarding type thing where you're trying to tell them what's available. And these are all just different resources or ways to think about adding content in there to try to get them to convert. And then the final thing is it generates more leads. And so if you have those lead generating content like newsletters or ebooks or infographics to extend your client database, it basically allows you, like I said, to add those particular people to there, and then eventually they're going to convert at some point. Or you can offer, if they got an ebook, then you can offer, hey, you've downloaded our ebook before. Do you want to sign up for our newsletter? You can then, push out other stuff, or you could even say, hey, we're doing a special concierge onboarding this week. We've introduced you to the topic of podcasting with the ebook you downloaded. We'd love for you to get onto our directory and get some more clients for your things. We're doing a special onboarding, yada, yada. You get it. So that can allow you to generate more leads. But that's all onboarding type of events or things that you can do. It just doesn't have to be in the dashboard. It doesn't have to be on the page. It can be part of the larger extension of what you do as a marketing service for your directory. And so when we're talking about all those different methods, here's just some examples of these. And we're going to go through all of these over the next coming weeks. So we're going to kind of pick these apart over the upcoming webinar weeks. And we're going to go over training today. But here's just a couple of methods. You have tours and overlays. Tooltips, where things pop up when they're at a certain point, or maybe on the pricing page. There's training that you can do. We're going to go over video training today, where you can provide an onboarding training for your newest clients. You have tutorials we've talked about in the past for ebooks and stuff like that, so you can do that, or FAQs. We went over FAQs 2 weeks ago for the FAQ software. So you can have a bunch of tutorials in the FAQ system there to kind of help answer some of the questions. You can do pop-ups, right, that pop up with the newest feature or something that you want to highlight. And then you can do, drip email campaigns that you can set up that a lot of people aren't doing. Now, BD doesn't do this. It just does manual ones, but you can do it manually in BD, or you can have another email system that you're using. But, after they sign up, have a series of 5 emails, one per week for the next 5 weeks, that you send them something that either you want them to do or you think a person in your niche would like to do on your website, and send them an email about that feature or that action on your website, and invite them to come back and partake of that, or do that, or fill that out, or whatever that email point is. And you send out a pre-programmed, automatic, sent out drip emails for your particular site. Now you do it, it's the old Ron Popeil, set it and forget it. Once you do it once, it's all set up. Everybody gets the same email string. And then you can try to, either keep them as a client, convert them, upsell them, whatever you want to do. But if you do any of these things, the main purpose of that, it can be selling. But when you're onboarding, you want to provide information, provide resources. That should be the initial and ultimate goal for that. So let's just go over real briefly an example of each one of these. So the tours and overlays, we're going to hopefully go over this next week. And here's an example of Helpier, one of the programs here, but there's some other ones as well. But this is a great example where you can actually provide a dynamic tour and overlay on your BD site that highlights and adds notes to specific sections that tells them, hey, click here, watch this video to show how to add that. It goes from page to page. It says next and finish. And you basically go over each particular item for whatever topic set that you want. So you could have multiple tours or overlays that show up on a particular page, or that gets sent out to a particular membership level, or goes over a particular highlighted or new feature at certain particular times and isn't always there, but it's just a tour, a walkthrough, and a step-by-step overlay of what to do on your site or on your particular listing. If it could be explain to you what is available for a client that isn't necessarily placed in an ad, but just to show what's available on the listing that's on your site. You can kind of do whatever you want on that. So that's an example of a tour overlay. And then we have the tooltip. So again, this is an example from Helpier, but there are others out there as well. And I'll show you some options you can do that we've done on BD site just within the code as well. But pop-ups basically don't take up any extra room on your website, but provide that information outlet to help alleviate a concern, a friction point, or answer a question, or highlight a feature. It's just a tooltip. So when they hover over that question mark, it pops up with the tooltip or information that you want them to see. So those are tooltips, and there's a lot of other third-party applications that do that, and we'll be offering up some of those in the upcoming weeks as well on Directory Toolkit. And then here's an example of a training video. So this is actually one we made for another client. I think I highlighted that before, and this is actually the one we're going to go over today. Is a system to create a bunch of training videos. So they have a course on here on their website, BD website, where you can watch multiple videos on how to make your listing profile, how to complete it, how to sign up, how to post a video, an article, or a coupon on your BD site. And it's just a walkthrough training video on how to do that. So it can be an individual video. It can be something you send in an email. It could be something, it doesn't even have to be a training video. You can do it in a pamphlet or another PDF as well. And that's what this system does as well, where you just send them the manual on how to do that, the step-by-step instructions. So just training, something you're providing, again, an additional resource for them. So that system that we're going to go over today for the videos also can do PDF outputs, but we've gone over this one before in a previous webinar. That's available on Directory Toolkit. It's the PDF tutorial platform Beacon, and you can make an ebook or some other type of tutorial for a particular subset and provide that to either new users or people that are interested in getting that content. It may not even be how to use your website, but you're providing, again, that solving some of those pain points. You give them some teaser information on there that then dovetails with the service that you offer on your website. So again, if you're sending that out via an email responder, you can get their email and again, do all those follow-up steps that we just talked about and try to get them enticed to it to sign up as a user. So tutorials, it's another onboarding technique that you guys can do. And then pop-ups here's some examples of pop-ups that don't necessarily have to deal with a specific page or a tooltip where it's on a specific item, but you can just add a welcome message or a pop-up message that appears when they enter your platform for the first time. You can add a video or an image for higher engagement rates, but just something on a particular page or timed aspect as well, where you just show some information or a latest highlight of a particular item that you want everybody to know about. And so it's not a tooltip, it's not a walkthrough or anything, it's just a pop-up that you're providing some information. And again, Helpier does that, and a bunch of some other programs as well that we'll be going over in the weeks to come. So pop-ups. Here's an example of the walkthrough item. Again, I just want to kind of show you an example of this one. This was one I just did yesterday. I signed up as an affiliate for a program, and then I forget which service this was, but inside there, the first time I went into the back end there, it popped up with the overlay here, and it just walked me through all the dashboard pieces of the affiliate program and said, hey, here's the sources. It's going to allow you to add your sources, and there's, you just read it, click next, and then it popped to another segment of the site. So people are using these for a lot of services. You can use this for your BD site as well. But I'm starting to see this more and more often, and it's great because it answers your questions. You can actually close them out. And then some of the programs too are dynamically, you can call them back. And so I think Helpier does that as well. You can have a list or link it to it. So if you want to go back to the walkthrough overlay that you kind of skipped last time or went through but couldn't remember. You just basically turn it back on and it starts, afresh and can walk you through all the different steps that you're looking to do. So just thinking about some of the examples that we went through today and just some of the things for the help here that we'll go over next week or the videos, you have a lot of powerful opportunities that these kind of items can provide for your particular website. You can provide a product tour to help users get started on your website. You can give welcome messages to retain those first-time users that are going to your site that just kind of maybe don't even know why they're on your site. You can kind of remind them in a real quick snippet without having them to read the entire site why you exist for that first-time visitor. You can add pop-up messages to announce the products or offers. You can use banners to promote new infographics and ebooks that you're trying to promote. Again, trying to get those resources in the hands and or get them to sign up for your particular directory. You can give warnings to alert users about possible errors. So if there's something that's going wrong, maybe you're asking for BD support, about something is something critical on your system, you can kind of throw something on there, just kind of say, hey, we're working on this aspect. We'll let you know as soon as it's fixed or something like that. So you can use it for warnings. You can do notifications to inform users about changes. So it could be like the latest changes, or the newest items, just to let them know that, hey, we're, and BD does a great job of this too, right? They, on their webinars or on the Facebook page, but you could also do it on your actual page. Just provide notifications of what's new. It doesn't always have to be in a blog article. You can give contextual messages for complex features and form fields, right? So if there's something that you don't want to necessarily put in the description on the form, you can add something in there to pop up and explain something that may not be readily obvious for your particular niche or form the way you've done it. You can do hotspots to highlight specific areas of your website, right? So when they mouse over a certain spot or click an item, it pops up with a message to say, hey, I'm here. This is what this does. For people just, again, to get some extra utility out of your website. And then you can also do it like small forums. Helpier does this as well, where you can actually, and we've talked about this the last webinar and several ones before when we were detailing the feed of your forums. You can give those NPS surveys, those Net Promoter Score surveys with the 1 to 10 of to get feedback from customers. And so these pop-ups can not only inform, but you can use these pop-ups to actually get information from the users as well. So that you can get some value from your customers as well. So the one we're going to go over today here in a little bit, and I'll open up for questions here in a second if anybody wants to talk about those particular items, and we'll probably jump in to show some BD examples as well in the interim before I go over this one. But we're going to go over a Fleeq system, and this is the video training system that we're going to go over, and why I think this is important. For the Fleeq videos is why videos are important is because 95% of people have watched an explainer video to learn more about a product or service. That's not for any particular service, but just 95% of people surveyed have actually on something that they've used online or in an app have watched an explainer video to get more information. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, it could be any of those little cartoon ones that you watch too about, hey, what is my site about? And I know a lot of you on the call here have added those in there, but they've watched something. And so it's content people watch. 79% of people would rather actually watch a video about a product than actually read text on a page. I just had a client today that I sent them they were asking about something. And so I sent them a page that detailed all the features of a particular service. And they're like, oh, I didn't want to actually have to read the entire page there. Do you just have something that explains what that is? People would rather just watch the minute video than to have to read the page, just because it's more engaging. And that's why YouTube is so popular, why people put videos on YouTube, why I put stuff on YouTube. That's why I explain stuff to clients on videos on how to do something. And instead of responding in a big long paragraph, I just record a 30-second video of me talking and explaining it, and people would just rather watch that than read. And then the last stat is 68% of users actually prefer to watch a video to solve the problem rather than contacting support. So it's kind of the old thing of like, I don't actually want to have to talk to anybody. I'd if you just tell me how to fix it or where it's at, I'll just watch the video and then I won't even contact you. And so when people rather do that or watch the video, it's twofold. It makes them happy because they get what they want. They have the video, and then it kind of helps you out too, because now you are not having to answer that question for the bajillionth client in a row, because you took the time to record a video, and then was able to answer the question and get the response that you wanted without actually interacting with the customer. And Rich, you can jump in here because this is kind of my last slide if you want, but I know you mentioned that last webinar, right, that you added that video on your service, and then people just started filling out the profile just because they watched the video, and you didn't have to do anything with them. They didn't have to ask you a question. They just did it because you showed them how to do it on the video. So we're gonna go over that in a little bit for Fleeq. So does anybody have any questions or topic on that? Otherwise, we'll dive into the example on there for the BD options. I know I turned everybody off again. Let me turn everybody's back on.
Colleges are going to start asking, well, what's your audience? What's your download? How many viewers are going to get? And so those are all legitimate questions you have to be prepared to answer. So you have to position that. You have a strong.
Hey, Rich, can you start over again? I think you were on mute, I think, when you started talking. So
listening to what Cedric was putting down, and if you all team up on this, I mean, it's a home run. But the other piece to the sponsors, advertisers, is that.
Or maybe he's talking to somebody who's not actually talking to me. Rich, I just muted you again. If you're not listening, jump back in here, and we can talk about that. So let me talk about a couple items here. Let me just share my screen again. We're going to talk about a couple options here on the actual directory, and what you can do on the BD sites, and we'll go over Rich's example since I already had his up here. So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but I just want to show you an example of what you can do in your BD sites here and what he has done. So you can create content pages with onboarding type of information. So what he has is a start here page with a video, and so this would be a video explainer content that we would have talked about. And he just has the step 1, 2, and 3, and kind of walk them through, and hey, this is what I want you to do. But this counts as an onboarding type of content, right? He's got a video. He's got to walk through exactly what they want to do. What he's set up and what you can do with your directory is after they sign up, you have the ability to redirect where a particular membership plan goes after they sign up. And so I'll show everybody where that is at here in the back end. If you go to any membership plan and hit edit, there's an option in there after sign up where you tell them where they need to go after they sign up. So you can set their status, but it's redirect page after sign up right here on the first page, and it defaults to their dashboard, the account home page. But you can then put in there exactly where you want them to go. So what he does is he changed this right here, and they then go to the start here after they sign up, and he kind of walks them through what he wants them to do after they sign up, and then walks them through that. That's one option that you can do. So this is a perfect example of just making a custom page. Here's another example of a custom page from another client, what they've done. And this one's good. It kind of talks you through, hey, businesses, here's your steps, list, upgrade, and then grow. Talks about some of the features and that they can upgrade, if they've just signed up for a free one. And then it kind of goes over additional features of what they can do. They can click on some of these to kind of show what, coupons, community articles, and you can have some detailed information here of the additional features and it basically call to action to upgrade. But then they said, hey, well, not only that, premium members also get this. So you can upgrade to that particular membership right there. So that's just an onboarding process, an explanation page about what they can do with their profile. Here's another example of same website, but it's for leads. And so it kind of walks them through an onboarding thing of like, hey, how do the leads work? So you can ask a question, you can buy for a small fee, can get you that lead, and then you can email 10 service providers for a particular visitor, and then if you're a premium member, you get 5 of them per year. And then so So then it gives them some onboarding stuff of, comparing the actual memberships and what that lead is, and then what happens next. It's kind of like setting up an FAQ section on the site, and it's basically answering those questions. And then if they want to, compare those plans, it basically has another page here where it walks them through. It's not necessarily the pricing page, but it's just a feature comparison page. And now we can easily go basic and premium, what is allowed in there. And then, probably what I'd advise them to do here is, add the buy now at the bottom here. So once they've kind of compared them all and they're like, yep, premium's for me, they can then click here to then upgrade. So here's just a couple examples of what you can do. And no, these are all manual processes, right? It takes some custom coding, development stuff for some time to actually do that. But that's something that you guys can add for your particular directories. One of the other things you can do, and I'll just do an example of this to show you for mine. You can add stuff in their dashboard. Let's say you don't want to make another page. You just want to create something in your actual dashboard. Let me log in as a member here real quick. You can actually add content into a widget. We've talked about this before in previous webinars. But you can add a widget and call that widget either at the top or the bottom of the dashboard, and you can add information in there. So here's an example of what I do on mine. I have, I still have some COVID-19 particular information in there for new members. So when they log in, I didn't change the URL like Rich did. I just have it going back to the dashboard. But now when they log into the dashboard, they're presented with this initial widget. And so I basically have some call to actions here. I thank them for joining. I basically ask them to, follow us on Facebook, join our Facebook group, post an article with your COVID policy, add your specific info into the listing details section below. And so now they don't have to go find that or know they have to click that. If they literally just go add your specific information to that button and they click that, it goes straight to the listing details section, and then they can add all their details. So it's just, again, a call to action. It's a way to do that. And so it's not any third-party software, but it's a way that you can add that content in there. And so what you would do on that is you would just basically create a widget in the widget manager, create whatever you want in that custom widget. And then for that particular membership level, and that's a membership level setting, you'd go to Finance Membership Plans. And then for a particular membership plan, again, so the benefit of this is you can have that widget different for every membership plan. So what you do for the membership dashboard is, hopefully we'll find it here. Right here in the custom dashboard content, it says header content. And so I've already pre-selected that COVID-19 widget as displaying as the header content for this particular membership level. If you have it specific or a different one for your membership level, you can make that here. And you can pick from any customized widget that's in your page. If you've customized your widget, you'll be able to add that in here and pick it from the particular. And so you can have a header one or a footer. And again, you can pick a different one for each particular membership level. So those are just a couple quick ways that you can do it inside the actual onboarding stuff for your particular membership plan. You can also set up or customize your email that goes out. So there are a couple ones that automatically go out for the email templates. So it obviously comes with standardized pre-made templates, but you can also go in here and customize this to add whatever onboarding information you want. So the email that goes out after they initially sign up, go in here. You can edit and customize that particular template, and then just add, it's going to have some basic information in there, formulate some content, some data that you want to go in there, and then throw it in here, and then update it, and then that will go out automatically, right? Based on whatever the system sets up for that outgoing email. So obviously it's not this email, it's the one that will initially get sent out. You can also add in, obviously it doesn't have autoresponders in BD system. So again, you can use another autoresponder to do that, but you also can make new email templates in here that you can just manually send out when you get the welcome email. So you can just make a new email template, design it, save it, And then you can manually send out a newsletter to particular people in your segment. So you can send it to active members, particular membership plan levels. And so if it doesn't really do a date filter on here, but you can send it to particular membership levels right now or to individual people. And so that would be a manual process. But eventually you'll be able to, in the system, be able to do that. They have these new thing called smart lists that they've just added, and I'll go over that real quick for you guys. I have one called chamber members as a smart list. But what it does is if you go into the members listing in your back end of your BD, you can set up any filters in here to get members that you want. So let's say the join date range, you want it to be at any time in October. So let's say October 1 to 31st, you could search for those members. And then after it gets that filtered member list on here, all you have to do is it says create a smart list. And then you just name that smart list. So let's say this would be October members. So you can create a smart list based on those filter settings. And then it would add in that email smart list category a new smart list for those particular members. And let's just pretend this was my October member list. You would then be able to just click straight away into those members to be able to see them. Just so you can do a manual email to those people. Or and they haven't turned this on yet, but eventually you'll be able to send a newsletter to a particular smart list. So you'll be able to schedule a newsletter. You would pick that template, again, that template that you made, that custom template that you made, and then you'd be able to send that to a smart list. So once I did that, it would show up in here as actually looks like they already turned that on. So I misspoke. It's actually there already. I just haven't seen them advertise it. So it looks like this went live. So now you can now click the October subscribers, add them to the list. So now you're sending that welcome email, that custom email for the October members, and then you can just send that email newsletter out. So not quite like an autoresponder. It is still manual, but then you can send that onboarding custom email that you've made that's not normally in the system, that onboarding email, and send it to all those, any particular smart listed subscriber, not really subscribers, but just somebody in your database that hasn't got that email. So does anybody else use anything else or have any comments on that or anything that they've used for their directory or like have a question on what it can do for the onboarding stuff from BD?
Well, Ryan, I do a welcome gift letter for our top 3. Like we give them a $5 Starbucks e-gift code. So I have created one of those manual emails. I didn't realize at the beginning, I thought everything when I sent from BD saved a copy. And I've recently found out that I actually have to remember to copy myself every time to be able to get a copy.
To know what you sent out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Because like I said, it's not it goes back to the thing of BD is a directory service. It's not an email marketing service, right? And so it doesn't have all the Gucci stuff that a paid, a system that's built to do that would have.
They really need to let people know though, because I just assumed because I could create a custom template that the system took care of it.
Yeah.
So I think I've sent out about 6 of them. Only realized I don't even have a copy of what I sent them.
Yeah. If I could interject.
Yeah, go ahead.
I sort of like that because whenever I send anything out, I want to see what it looks like when it arrives in somebody's inbox.
Exactly.
So there's
just
no harm in, it's a little bit of a pain, but you don't have yourself to mail. But wait, when you send those out, you're sending them out in a mass mailing or one at a time?
No, I go into my member list and it says I select compose email and then I choose the template that I've created. So I've made a custom template.
Yep.
So it pulls up my template. But if I don't CC myself, I have no record of it.
Right.
So this is what I would do.
Who are you sending it to? A group of people? Everybody? Or?
Well, in this particular case, I'm sending a gift card to each new member. So one at a time. It's a personalized email.
Okay, one at a time.
But through the system.
Right.
Right. But so this is what I would do. This is what I would do for that, though. When you're sending the newsletter out, again, depending on who you're sending it to, if you're sending it to everybody or certain membership levels, I would just make sure that this is me, the admin, I'm sending it to the October newsletter, and then I'm sending it to the admin. And then that's it, right? You don't have to CC yourself. You just basically added yourself to the queue. That's what I would do.
Yeah, once I get to newsletters, I'll do that.
Okay.
I got to admit, I haven't looked into the newsletters here yet because I thought I was going to be going with.
Well, it's kind of a misnomer. It's not really a newsletter. It's just you're sending out an email. So this is just basically
that's the email you're talking about. That you're talking about.
Okay, so I don't use it this way. I can't remember who I was.
You're doing email. This is like one off. Normally,
no, I don't go that way either because that wasn't working at all for me. So I think her name's Luana at BD. She told me just go into like my members list where you see all your members. So you're the top. And she said instead of going to you can go quick edit or look at their billings, you just choose compose email right from that particular.
Right.
Yeah. And that way it also shows up in my activity. What was happening is it wasn't even showing it up. If I did it via the email on the first one you went to, it wasn't even showing up as an activity. Whereas when I do it this way, at least it ends up in my activity record that I have sent it to them.
Okay.
I have to right there with recipients. I now have to make sure I always put our admin email in there. Otherwise, it's just gone.
Yeah, if you're manually doing it. But if you're doing the newsletter, I just click your admin, you're golden. Okay. It does have the preview email on here. It doesn't have that preview on the other one. But what you would just do is, so Frank was asking that one, what you would just do on the email template, you would just, make sure that you preview whatever one you're picking to send, that you just preview it and go, yep, that's exactly what I'm going to see.
Yeah, for me, I need a record of the code. So if they say they didn't get a code because it's financial, right? So I don't want them to, go have a coffee and then say, "Oh, I didn't get it." I just need some proof that I sent it to them.
Here's one thing I'm confused with everybody using is the BD email system that good where people really want to use it? Because I've never used it. I use my autoresponder because I like the way I can tag everybody and put them in a different list.
Well, I would always advise people to use an autoresponder for their marketing, unless they want to go the cheaper route, right, or the simpler route, and just use what BD has. The only reason for that is because, like Frank said, there's just so much more capability in those autoresponders for messaging, but it doesn't tie into the BD system unless you pay to have an API integration. There's very limited way to actually automate to add somebody to a list.
Yeah, but
so
and this is one of these things that also I don't understand because how many new members do you get at one time? You get a new member, you log into your autoresponder, you add them to the list, you're done. People make it sound like it's this tedious, time-consuming, nerve-wracking task. It takes 10 seconds.
No, it does. But it's funny. It's amazing how many people want to be hands off or I can't believe I'm getting emails from the directory saying that people have signed up. Who are these guests to my platform that are signing up? They just want it hands off, surprisingly.
I'm very hands on, but
me too. I don't want hands off because
I just assumed the email system that came with this was just handy because it's part of. It is very limited, though.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the trade-off. I mean, they provide enough where they can say they gave you something, but to me, it's never going to be what I want.
Oh, exactly. I'm finding without add-ons, the system it might be robust, but without add-ons, it really isn't ideal.
Right.
No, that's why I have Ryan.
Sure. But that's part of the thing. You sell it at a price, and then the add-ons are just an upsell. It's like the same thing everybody else does. Yeah. But it's hard to.
I think customization is what I meant to say rather than add-ons. The add-ons are fine, but I find you just have to customize this just to make it your own. But so you say autoresponder. So what are you using for your email package?
I use Aweber.
Okay, because I've been told to use I think it's called Flavio, but that's for my product-based business on my Shopify site. So
yeah, I don't know. I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it. I mean, most people use either MailChimp, Aweber, or GetResponse. MailChimp is really not good if you're doing what anybody would call marketing emails. They love to shut you down. And what I really like about doing it on one of those services is you can create beautiful, emails that are like attractive to look at, not just an HTML text email,
Right. Yeah, these emails look very computer generated, almost like.
And I don't want that. I just don't want that from me. People expect more from me.
Yeah, so I mean, it does have HTML capability, obviously, and so there are obviously built-in, marketing items in there for all those other systems, like pre-made, right? So you don't have to create from scratch. But there are other sites that provide that type of stuff.
Oh, sure. What is it? Wait, go back a page there. What's that smart list?
That's what I was just showing earlier.
Is that like tagging or segmentation?
Yeah,
on BD.
Yeah, down a little bit. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't know if you were sleeping.
No,
sleeping when I talked about. That's what I was talking about earlier, where you create the smart list. It's in here, and then when you go,
it's basically tagging.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you go to the email, when you go to send newsletter. That was where I was given the October newsletter example. When you go to create the newsletter,
list.
You've already did the pre smart list of filtered member list, and then you just go tag the smart list that you want to send that email to.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, you got that I didn't even know they had that. Well,
they did. I probably stole their thunder for their webinar Wednesday because I don't remember them. They didn't have this launched yet, so they must have just turned that on.
Well, here's a quick question, though. If I go and I use an external email source, I'm assuming then I have to go and turn off all the auto emails. So when someone signs up, for instance, they're giving their payment was successful, and then they're giving an email verification email. Are you saying you replace all those with another platform?
No, no. If I want to do something special, like you were talking about with your coupon code,
right? So
then I want to make it looks almost like a flyer.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you use BD for the transactional emails,
right?
Just so like I lost my password.
Right. For marketing, it's unacceptable.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. Okay. I just want to keep the branding going the same. So if you could do too many different platforms and they're seeing messages coming to them in 2 or 3 different formats.
But you can make your autoresponder email from the branding standpoint look exactly like your BD emails at the top part, and then you just create something better looking from there down.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put this in the chat real quick for the link on here. Let's see if that'll let me post the link this time. Yeah, there we go. I just posted a link. Sorry, Mark, I'm just seeing your chat here, so no problems if you have a problem with the mic there. And then I guess that was Scott's mic, and Rich said he's here. So anyway, I just put this in the thing. I just found this the other day, but this is actually I didn't browse through this fully, but it's 700 free newsletter templates that are all mobile responsive, and so it gives a bunch of different sites that have free mobile responsive email templates from like 25 different sites that have free versions. So if anybody wants to go look at that, and again, I'll just for people watch on the webinar, it's emailtooltester.com/en/blog/free-newsletter-templates. But you can just go grab one out of here that looks good for you. And then because it's HTML based, just add that HTML to your autoresponder and then add that HTML template to your BD site. It's HTML, uses the same code that's mobile responsive for both systems. And the only difference is the variables, or whatever the system's adding in there. And you can have them look exactly the same on your Aweber account as you would from your BD site because it's using the same HTML code. So
yeah, I guess the reason why I'm partial to the Aweber because I use it for my clients to send out their email. So I figure, well, they're paying for it, so I'm just going to use it for free.
Right. No, Aweber's a good system. I guess I don't have an account. I'm gonna pretend like I do.
I like Aweber. I've been with him for years. And it's $49 a quarter. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, especially for most people that are not, not using it that much or whatever. The lower ranges, are probably good enough.
I think all my clients combined, I think I probably send out about 1,000 emails a day.
A day.
Yeah. Well, two of them are restaurants with mailing list. They send out their daily special menus every day.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I had to jump on a call. Can you all repeat everything real quick?
Yeah. All right. Let me get.
Give them the link to the video.
Yeah, this was recorded, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, man. I was looking at some of it. I was so bummed, but this was an important client. And I was kind of screwed up on the scheduling for the time. And so they're launching a big podcast, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I was watching some of the video in the background and I'm loving it. Now I got to listen to the audio version.
All right. Well, so any questions now that Rich has missed everything? Anything everything we went over before that he didn't catch?
I got to run personally.
Yeah, good.
Go get my girl.
Oh, you got to run. Got it. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ryan. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll get together about the help here.
Okay.
You booked all day or?
No, I'm less booked tomorrow, but I'm since Deborah's on the call and she's next, and I got this webinar kind of me preparing for that, finishing up, interfered with me finishing her stuff up. I'm not talking to you tomorrow until I take care of all of her stuff.
You can't go away again.
That's fine.
I know. Well,
that's tomorrow.
It's true. I got so back. So the problem is that not that I have any, I can't get caught back up, but I have stuff that I have to do that stacked up. But now we're doing consultation calls or calls, and then I can't work on the other stuff because now everybody's just taking up my time on a call. So
right,
I got to stop recommending you.
Do you
got to quit
appreciate the way I covered as your reception while you were gone?
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Yeah. See you, Frank.
Yeah, Murphy's Law, things go wrong too when you. But I'm proud of myself. I stayed up till 9 a.m. that time getting that freaking holiday guide fixed that night.
Oh my gosh.
Because I messed up your code trying to duplicate it. And I'm like, I thought I was going to be in tears at 5 a.m. And I thought, okay, I need to get this fixed before women wake up. And I did it. So it's like, phew.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the more everybody gets to that point too, where they start seeing stuff enough times, or and then that's really that's the point I got to, or you can get to, is actually it's liberating a little bit, right? Because then you're like, yes, I can actually make this do what I want to, and it's exciting, right? When you can get it to.
Well, once I see the pattern in your code, then I can figure it out and duplicate it.
Yeah, that's it. I
don't know
start encrypting the code. That I'll change that tomorrow. No, I'm just joking. Some people do. I'll just throw that out. I'm going to call other developers out on the call here. There's some other people out that are developing on BD's site that they'll make something, charge you for it, but they encrypt the code with a hash code, so you can't. It's still the browser can replicate it, but you can't actually see the code. So I don't do that.
Well, that sucks. Brutal. Yeah, I panicked last night because I have this influencer that she's going to help me build the U.S. site. I get more members for it. So I was bragging up the site, how great it is, how easy it is to set up your profile. And sure enough, the U.S. site, she kept messaging me, this is happening. I'm like, I couldn't believe it because we had everything 100%. So I have no idea what. So I helped her get a few things done. And lately I'm having an issue where members sign up and then they're showing up in my admin. I think we spoke, but they're showing up in red as if they can't activate their account. And they claim they're not getting the emails, but yet 90% of the other people are.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on how they have their settings set up, for the box or whatever. So I don't think it's a system problem. If they're just not getting it, they're probably getting it. It's probably just going to their spam folder for whatever settings they have.
I've been manually activating them as soon as I see that it's been sitting on red too long, and then I message them and say, "Oh, I noticed that
Well, the other way to do that too is, again, talking about people being proactive, is that if you if you see a bunch of people signing up or whatever, and you have their contact information, email, just manually do those if they're sitting there for a little bit, and you can filter out by account status. So if you see not active, you can search by that to see if people are not active. That have been on there for forever. So, for instance, my dad, who signed up, back last year, has not activated his account. So I'm going to go, I'm email him, ask him what's up. But I'm just joking. But you can see these people for a while, and then you go email them or call them and say, hey, I just wanted to make sure you're good. Did you get the email? Oh, you didn't get the email? Okay. As long as you know they're a real person, you just go, I went ahead and activated your account right now. Is this your right email or whatever? Okay, great. And then just do that manually. But
and that's what I do. What I do is every time a new member if I notice someone signs up, even before they get an official email from us on that welcome gift, I always message them on Facebook, or usually It's Facebook, just letting thanking them, welcoming them to if they have any questions, reach out. So that's a good thing. At least they can reach me at any time to fix their.
Right. And that's another reason maybe you want to turn on some of these. If you're not watching this and don't have this turned on, to have them add all of these other Facebook profiles, because now it's just another way to contact them. Maybe they're not emailing you from their email, or not responding. You're like, are they even getting it? They're not answering the phone. Just go, oh, there's their Facebook profile. Go message them. And then maybe another avenue to go ahead and contact.
Well, I'm on Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And so I get messages coming in on all of them.
Right.
What about TikTok?
Not on TikTok. They tell me I should, though. Like on the product-based business side, for my product-based business, I'll be doing that. But the biggest thing, you talk about onboarding, and I see all these things that you're telling us to put on the site. When I think of onboarding, and I think someone asked the question and I answered it, for me, onboarding is I am present on social media. I try every day, different graphics. I'm on, we're starting up some Zoom sessions. So once a week I'll be on for anybody to hop on, ask questions about the directory. We'll be having a weekly Zoom for all of our members again.
And that to me is like training, right? You're doing You're doing a training session or on a Zoom call. That'd be in the training aspect of it. Could be video. It could be something you're sending them. It could be a live session, right?
That's right.
It does. Yeah, exactly. Those
help, I find, because you have to get them to the site to see all these fancy things you're putting on it first. So I guess it's more of the marketing versus onboarding. But I can put the two together. I put the two together. I live on Zoom these days, it seems.
Yeah. So let me go over into the product. I'll show you an example of another the service that can do that. And so we talked about the Fleeq. I was kind of walk you through what this thing does for people. We talked about the videos, and so what this basically does is it's a system to be able to create onboarding videos or training videos for your particular site. So what it does. It creates basically a video with text overlay, and it could have custom narration or your own. But it starts out by asking, "Hey, for this video, do you want to do auto narration?" It'll do, in any language of Arabic, Chinese, Czech. There's like 64 languages on this thing, and you can have it. Basically, you can type in the text, and it'll auto narrate. In that narrator voice. For the video, or you can do custom narration and upload your particular voice per slide. So it's not really a live running video. It's basically step-by-step training and slide presentations. And so the cool thing about these kind of training videos or this system is that if you change any of the content, you don't have to go re-record the 18-minute video or the 10-minute or the 3-minute video. You literally can just re-narrate or redo that one particular slide, hit save, and the live video is automatically updated. So this is basically a narration you can do on your own, but it's kind of in snippets. And so that's the first thing that it does is ask for the narration type. And then it looks like this in the setup. It basically has a slide-by-slide presentation of an image or a video. And then you see the narration off there to the right. And this is what I was talking about, the per frame customization with live updates. Let's say the original one said the basic information tab is the first of 4 tabs for a complete profile for a business. Each tab has different fields for you to add your information. And so let's say that was the narration. Let's say I wanted to add something, a different blurb or change the wording. I literally just changed the narration text on there and then hit save. And the video automatically has the new wording and the new narration on it. Obviously, if you're manually doing that, you'd have to re-upload the new soundbite or re-record that soundbite for that. But you can do it on a slide-by-slide basis. So when you add an update or you want to stick something in between slide 5 and slide 6 with a new feature or something, you can go add it in there for a week and then delete that slide and resave it for next week. And you don't have to remake the video. It just automatically live updates that slide.
Hey, quick question, Ryan, on that. I see a microphone icon. Is that you can record in your own voice, or are you typing in as computer generated voice?
It's either or.
Oh, okay.
And I'll show you that in a second.
I think is this the widget that is being used on that one the one you showed before, like with the tutorials?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And so I kind of showed it. I'll re-show it again on live so you guys can see what it looks like. But this is just the back end and how it works. So
is that the one with the Black Business podcast? Or I mean, not podcast, but directory?
Yeah, the Black Business Zone. Yep.
Yeah.
So for any particular, obviously it's just slide based. So you can it has media folders where you can add coupon folder, photo album folder, and kind of put assets in a particular photo so you can find them later. You can also upload JPEG, PNG. It also can upload an entire PowerPoint slide deck. So if you have a PowerPoint presentation, you basically just select your PowerPoint. It converts all of the PowerPoint into images, so you can just readily add the PowerPoint in there.
So if I wanted to do a frequently, it's like my FAQ, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I was going to use your software you gave us for I forget what you called that, where the windows open and close, or the text. But if I wanted to, say, have the frequently asked questions, and when they clicked on it, just that slide answering that particular question came up, that would work?
Yeah,
okay.
I'll show you an example of what that would look like on the site here in a minute. So yeah, hold that thought, and we'll see if that kind of would solve that issue for you. But yeah, it does have a search and kind of an FAQ kind of setup that's set up in here. So you can upload MP4 videos and then a PDF file too. So if you have like a how-to manual or something, or a screenshot of a PDF, it'll upload those. After it also has a conditional flows set up in here. So you can also set it up where you can have continue or like next or back, and you can actually pause. So for example, we have one on his, we have a question of like, do you have your account set up? It's like yes or no. And if you haven't set up the account yet, you can actually, as you see here, the call to action, you can have the button lead to a different step. So you can actually jump to the end. Like let's say you already have your account set up. Maybe you skip steps 6 through 10 because that's how to set up your account. You skip to 10. And if you don't have an account, it just goes to the next slide. So you can jump to different steps. You can actually pull up a different Fleeq. So let's say you have an entirely different video on how to create an account by how to sign up or how to post an ad. You can actually just exit that one video and then enter back into another video through that button, because you basically portal, to a different video through that call to action. They have these things called courses and wikis, and I'll show you that. You can basically load up an entire page or a course based off from saying, hey, would you like to take the course on listing or how to add posts? And you could actually go straight to an entire course. Or you can just go off the training module and go straight to a link on your website to upgrade or view a particular, like if you're doing that promo page or whatever, another link for a sign up page or whatever you wanted. So a URL of choice. So it has these conditional flows inside of the video where it'll basically pause and then take you off into a different direction, potentially based on how you answer.
Oh, cool.
Here's some stuff that you can do just in the general options, kind of walk through there. So you can do captions on there. So it can have, just so they can turn the volume off. You can say, this is an example of your captions. You can actually write that over top of the video so they can turn off the volume and still be able to read that. You can turn on sharing so they can actually share it with other people, and we can show the embed code so you can actually embed that code somewhere else on their site, for example, if you wanted to make something for your users. And then you can also enable step by step, kind of where they have to click next on each one, so it doesn't like auto go through. They kind of look at it, maybe pauses, and then they can kind of go do something, and then go, okay, I'm ready, next, and they can hit the next button. So that's some options on there. And then you can also restrict it to certain domains or pages as well. So if you only want to show it on certain ones, you can do that. So this kind of gets to that Rich's question on the audio. You can enable the narration, either your own or the custom. So this is just the auto narration that I picked. You can pick the language, and then obviously it has a bunch of different narrator options on there that you can pick from, either men, women. You can do British accents, Indian, different, Chinese talkers, whatever you want.
What about Southern? Can you do Southern talk?
Southern, you may have to record your own awesome voice for that on the custom.
Hey, watching there, buddy. Yeah, from Miami.
How about Canada here with the A?
The A,
yeah, exactly. Come on, eh?
Yes, there is Canada. I will demo that one.
What's this widget? Is this widget Fleeq or?
Yeah, this is all the same widget. Yep, these are just the settings inside there. And then you can actually turn on a background music for the entire thing. So you got some little jiggy music in the background while you're talking. You can actually overlay that in the background to put them in the mood for watching your video too. So you
put them in the mood.
Do that. So here's a call to action you can add in there too. At the end of the video, you can say, hey, thanks for watching the video. Click here for your discount, or like click here to sign up now. So basically at the end of the video, you can add that call to action, and then you can open that URL in a new tab. I just have the redirect or URL. There's other options too where you can give a thumbs up, share some other call to actions at the end of the video as opposed to in the middle. This is just kind of a general setting for all your videos, at the end. Obviously, you can custom brand this your own. You can put your logo in there. You can, on the corner there, just to have your logo on the video. You can change the initial thumbnail. You can change the actual URL slug for the address and the domain, and then obviously the color theming. And then you can actually add an info bar. Oops, looks like I didn't update the picture on here, but it basically adds an image or a call to action below the video. So even though they're watching the entire video, it may have your logo and the click here at any time. If you're ready to purchase, click here to join now. And so they can be watching the whole video, but still have that underarching info bar call to action underneath the video the entire time. So it has that. And then it also has the localized translation. So after you have the video done, we can make a one-click change to any language that you guys want, including the overlays for the language. So let's say you make the video in English. You can make one in Chinese, and then I don't know what that is, Italian. Over there on the right-hand side, you basically just go translate a local translation in Chinese, and then you have the exact same video with the same images, the same wording, but now it's somebody speaking Chinese, and it shows Chinese on the video. Cool. So if you have a multi-language site, so if you need it to speak, have Canadian on the wording there, to have 2 L's in your jewelry, you can one click change it to Canadian. I don't know if it does that. I'm just using an example, but you can use a real, other languages there, and it'll change it. And then I also, and this is not, so when I offer this up we're going to have some generic videos that everybody will be able to buy or add, like in a piecemeal video. Like if you just want a video of like how to sign up or how to add a video, it'll just be a generic BD system how-to kind of thing. Which can be customized. But if I do have some options where you can actually sign up and make these for yourself on the video. And then if you have the entire system set up for you on Teams, you can actually get real-time tracking and retention status for the videos and see how many people are watching the videos. Like you can assign them to particular people, see if they've completed the training, and make it more of an actual like a training tutorial for clients or something like that. It'll actually keep track of who and what they've accomplished for the videos. And then when you do that, you can actually have emails where you can send out to them that they haven't finished some of your training, ask them to finish. You can do quizzes and kind of see scores for different people too. Again, if you were kind of doing more of a training aspect other than just having the videos on your site. So that is available as well if you buy the entire system. And then what it also offers, and this is, either way, if you just have the video set up or if you have the entire system, you can set up courses that can make the learning a little bit more fun. So you basically can have kind of like I showed you, we'll show you the live thing on this for the Black Business Owner. You basically have a tiered course where they're already in order on the left there. There's like 2-3 minute videos on that in a different category and a couple more videos. So basically it makes a whole step-by-step walkthrough in order video course that you can add other, comments to, or just like and embed that in your BD site.
Oh, cool. So it's like Kajabi.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not really set up as a full course necessarily like that or to buy. It's kind of more of a, user training it is more of an onboarding tool. So it doesn't have the full up email marketing like Kajabi or sales page or anything like that. So a little bit different, but similar. And then you can set up, a learning portal for different people like this, where you can have a different team and you can basically have set up where that particular team has to do different training, and you can kind of see whether they've completed it or that you've updated it. See how it says updated and please rewatch. So you can kind of set it up there, or stuff's still pending because they haven't even watched it, or this one's in progress right here. So you can kind of see where a particular learner is at in terms of their onboarding process. Again, this is more maybe for an internal employees too, would work good for that kind of setup. And then it also has a wiki and training bar. So it'll have a separate page that has the training on it. So a separate URL that's not really embedded on your site, but just a separpt page. So that's kind of what they call the wiki. Mm-hmm. And then it has a training bar. And this may be, Deborah, kind of what you were asking, where it's got the sidebar on the side where it says, can we help? It's kind of like an FAQ search where they search for a particular item, and then it shows a video that answers that particular question.
Cool. I like that idea.
So I'll show you that live as well. And so here's an example of the back end for that training bar. So you can kind of you can pick which videos or which Fleeqs that are in that training, in that training bar. You can change the colors, what the little help button says, and basically how that looks on your website. And then again, if you buy the full package too, we're talking about different people having different packages. You can actually make them private as well. So they have to sign in order to get that. So it's not open to the public. You can actually set up emails and with passwords and see who can get in there and who can't based on a kind of permission set basis. And then at the end, what you can do, again, this is if you have the full package, you can actually share content online. It offers a lot of different offline and online options. So you can, for the online options, you can add a link to that particular training site. You can add an article, and what that does is it basically makes an HTML page that has the entire written narration and the images for that particular thing, and it's basically like you were saying, an FAQ article, right? That you could then link to. You could do an inline embed there, which gives you an iframe source that you can post into your BD site anywhere you want on your item, or you can have it as a lightbox pop-up. Where it basically will pop up inside of your page and show the training. And then for the offline training, you can export the HTML file, so you can have that HTML code and add it to any HTML system that you want, even BD or otherwise. You can export it as a PDF. You can make it a training file, as an ebook or a pamphlet. And then you can have all of those as images, so you can make a PowerPoint, slide deck out of those image deck. Or you can export it as a video, an MP4 video, and add it to your YouTube channel. So there's all sorts of offline training options there as well. And then it has third-party integrations where you can integrate your SendGrid account to do some kind of marketing, Zendesk if you have that for your stuff, Google Analytics if you want some tracking. So a lot of different integrations there for the software as well. So let me go ahead and show you guys a live example here. And I can go back and show you guys the tool as well if you guys want to do that. But I think the screenshots there do a pretty good job. But we'll load this one real quick here, and after it loads, you'll see the help and training that popped up on the side. So again, here's an example of that pop-up. So let's say I wanted to know how to sign up Let's say I just typed in sign up, and there we go. It kind of filters those out, how to sign up as a buyer. And then all you have to do is click on that. It'll do the overlay on the website and upload the video. And then all they have to do is hit play.
Thanks for your interest in joining the Black Business Zone as a visitor or buyer. We offer several quick and easy ways to join our community for free. To join for free, click the Join Now button from any page. Or if you are on the Join page already, simply click the large black bar to join for free.
So I won't go through the whole video, but you guys get the point on there. And you can also hover over here and kind of scroll and jump to any particular slide. So let's say you want to I want to go down to the end.
While the system processes your request and creates your account.
So where did you get this again? You went quick at the beginning. Where when you first logged into this or came across this person's site, say I'm a visitor and I put in the URL. Okay, so right at the top?
Right here, the helper training right there on the side.
Because here's my dilemma with pop-ups. They're great for the members, but as a visitor to the site coming to look for businesses to shop, I'm wondering if pop-ups would be annoying. Like for people who they're not going to become a member, they're not a business owner. They're just coming to find businesses to shop. And that's why
it doesn't pop up unless you click the button. I mean, I had to click that. It doesn't just randomly show up. I had to click the help training button. Is that what your question is?
Oh, okay. So I didn't see that part. I was looking at the top of the screen. Okay. Yeah. I thought when they first clicked on it, that popped up on them. Okay.
Oh, no. So the other way to do that, and so here's another example of the course training thing. So if you go into the Entrepreneurship Center and training, oops, I'm sorry, not that one. We changed it around. Here's the website help, right? So now it's just a button linking to a particular training course. Now we've embedded the training course inside of this BD page, right? And so now it kind of walks them through the actual, video, whichever one they want. There's how to post a video, and so that's
in this video. We will show you how to.
Yeah, so I'm thinking my FAQ page would probably be the best place for this. I love it.
Yeah, so you can do that on the FAQ page, and so that there's a couple, obviously different options you can do there. So
could you do two help tabs, one for members and one for website visitors?
Yep. So this is a course, right? So you can make multiple courses for different people. So for instance, actually, let me just log in real quick here.
Like my How It Works page is basically for the visitors to the site. So that would be a great place for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking for Deborah is like you could have a tab or the welcome tab that would say website visitors, if they're kind of shopping there, help them kind of navigate and understand how to match with members, whatever. And then the members of how to get the best out of their profile and their membership and all that good stuff. Hey, so quick dumb question. This is kind of a yes or no quick question and kind of a dumb one. But are you? Is this a site that one of your customers you work with, the Black Business Zone, or is this a demo? What's that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I'll just go into his real quick. So again, so if you're going to use this, I would make if we're just hosting your videos, we'd make a new team for your particular business or directory. I'm just going to log into his team here. And so as an example here, that was a course, right? That's what you were asking about. So let's go into the course button there. That was the training course that we made there. That's here. So let's say we want a new course. So you want something for somebody else with different videos, right? All you do is create a course. Let's name this, we'll just say webinar demo. And you can make it public or private. We already kind of talked about that, but I'm gonna create that particular course. Now, after I make that course, now we're kind of starting from scratch, where I can add a new category, right? Let's say I want that to be, I guess, posting an article or whatever, or just articles. Let's just say that. Whatever you wanted, and then you can add a new category, right? Let's say that one is something else. This is now videos. You guys get the point. And then after you make the new category, now you can when you click on there, I can add an item to that. And now I've already got all my Fleeqs in here. So you basically just go, I want that one to be there, that one, and that one. And then you just add them. Now it's all set up. and you save, and you literally just hit share, grab the embed code, and add it to a new page. So
it's like a playlist, basically.
It is exactly like a playlist. Yep. And so once you have it in there, you can move it around, right? Drag and drop it to a new playlist. There's your new your playlist. And then you can, preview what it looks like. You can do the same thing for the bar. Let's say you want to, I'll save changes on that. You can do the same thing for the wiki page or the bar. Let's say you want a new bar for a new page or whatever. You can just create a new bar, and now you're adding new videos to that that are in that search box, right? You can add content, and you can do individual videos, or if you set up a playlist. I already added a playlist on here as an example too. So if you want all the articles in there, you just click that playlist. Now all of those are in that list. I already have all those playlist article videos in there.
Yeah, I like this because I thought I was going to have to do a bunch of Zoom videos because I know Loom just changed their times that you can use. So everybody's complaining about it, so now everybody is using Zoom if they have a longer video. But I thought that's why I would just be putting as links to Zoom videos.
Yeah, you could do that. But again, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this one. So what I'm going to do this, sign up as a buyer. I'm going to demo or duplicate this one. So this is how easy it is to let's say you want that video, but you want it changed for somebody specific. So you can actually convert it to a GIF too. I forgot to mention this. So if you want a walkthrough video in a GIF format, you can actually convert it to a GIF and have it play the GIF file on your site too, just as
the GIFs are relatively short typically, right? Is there a time limit on those, or?
I don't think so. I think maybe two. That's a good question. I think maybe 2.5 minutes, to be honest, that long.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that's plenty of time. Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm going to duplicate this one real quick. So you can duplicate it to another team. So, and so again, this is how I'm going to do that when we sell videos. What I'm going to do is make everybody a team. I'll just have those preset videos that I've done that everybody will pay for, and I'll just duplicate it and add it to your team, and then you guys can use those particular videos. Obviously, we can customize anything you want, but I'm just going to duplicate it in team. I'm going to name it webinar example again, and I'm going to duplicate that, and it'll just show up in there as a duplicate, and then I'll be able to edit that around without messing up the ones that we've already got for him. It'll take a minute to duplicate it. There we go. So I'm going to open this up for you guys. I'm going to show you how easy it is to to change it around. And so you can kind of preview every particular slide too. Let me go to the narration one on this one. It says, thanks for your interest in joining. So you can kind of preview it.
Thanks for your interest in joining the Black Business Zone.
So thanks for joining me on the webinar. So
thanks for your interest in joining me on the webinar as a visitor or buyer.
So anyway, so when you change that, you literally just hit save, and it's live on your website in your code without doing anything else with the new narration, without you doing anything. So you just edit and change it. So you can change it around to see who's doing it. Let's say I want, let's see. Oh, I thought they had Canadian. I apologize. They don't. So,
well, what would you pick?
I was thinking Australian is maybe what I was thinking of. So let me see Oliver there. So anyway, you can change that person out depending on what you do. Let's see Oliver here.
Thanks for your interest in joining me on the webinar as a visitor or buyer. We offer several quick and easy ways to join our community for free.
That sounds legit. Sounds like a real person.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
The other one sounded a little bit automated.
Frank would disagree. He's like, I could tell a mile away that's a robot, but it's pretty good. I mean, you can add speech breaks at a certain time, so you can add a pause in there to make it. If it doesn't sound exactly right, you can add a comma and pause it. You can change it around, and you can change the speech rate, and change it up for a particular text and make it really sound pretty close.
Could you start them all as a robot, and then eventually, when you get time, go in and re-narrate everything? Or would you have to start over again?
No, you can re-narrate it. So
Okay.
you could just change it in the settings, right?
Because I could see getting, if you want to get it up quick, just do it in
Right.
text and have it auto, but then eventually start narrating each slide on
Right.
your.
No. So for this one, you just said, let's switch it over to custom narration, and then you could do it per step under the visual and content, right? So I just changed it to custom narration now. So let me show you background music too. So you can just set up, like let's do 50% volume.
Yeah. Plus, if you wanted to do that, your narration later, you already have the script written in.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It would
Right.
save me a lot of Zoom calls. But that's mostly my Zoom calls are explaining what the directory is, how it works.
Right.
This is my
I like
webinar. I need some background music on the webinar. But anyway, so it has all these background musics, which are pretty good too. I think overall.
Now, I don't hear the voice. I mean, does it do the voice over it as well?
Oh yeah. That's just the background. Then you go back to edit the voice. So this is what you're asking about there. So you can either upload the audio file or you just record the audio. So right here you just go allow. Thank you for joining me on the webinar today. I hope you enjoyed it. Joining me on the webinar today. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh,
And
I'm
then-
really liking this.
So now it's set up with that MP3, and then again you can. Joining me on the webinar today. I hope you enjoyed
Wow.
it. So now that's per step, right? So now if I go to the next step, I just have to upload and record that particular step, on there.
It's kind of like a PowerPoint, but with the audio as it goes through each step.
Right. So obviously you can replace visuals or whatever. So if you want to change that out again, you just replace the visuals. It'll upload your all those different things that we kind of talked about. Here's the PowerPoint I uploaded from one thing, so you can just grab the audio and replace that in there. And then again, this is you can change the duration. It just defaults to audio duration, or you can kind of delay it. You can do the caption, so you can actually have the caption show something different than the narration if you want. Otherwise, it just copies over that narration that you have on there. So here's an example. If you wanted to say, kind of go back, grab the original text you had in there, and then record it, you can kind of it does show that right there. You can also zoom in. So if you have different fit to screens, if you like, that was a wide image, or you can zoom in, and drag it around on any particular thing. So it kind of has that built in there as well.
Now those are screenshots.
Sorry.
What about will it, kind of do with some of these explainer videos where you can pull from your website and I don't know how to ask the question or explain it, but the ones I did, not with Loom, but some other service where I'm actually live on the website and explaining the steps, and then it'll highlight or circle. You have a cursor over it rather than just a screenshot, or no?
Yeah, sharing the screen, you mean, I think, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know that it does the actual recording of the MP4. I think it just upload. I think you just upload the actual video. Let me see here.
And where do you
Yeah,
get
because that's what I would need. I would need to go through the step of geocoding your location, or that seems to be the thing that I have the most problem with.
Yeah, I don't think it does it looks like it doesn't do the video recording, so you'd have to grab another software. We've gone over. I think we actually went over that last webinar. I had there's 12 free sources to be able to just grab a video and record it and just download the MP4. So it looks like they don't do that, the video piece of that, unfortunately.
So these are just images of each page you could put on.
Right, I just grabbed a screenshot of the page. You can upload the video though, right? So if you have a video, you upload and then it plays the video for that slide.
Okay.
And then here's the conditional flow we talked about. So you'd call to action and it'd say, do you like this? Whatever you want to put on there, and you would you can add different, yes or no question,
Now it's not pulling images from your website. You have to go there and grab a screenshot and insert it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a slide presentation.
Was that
right?
So it's like a slide presentation.
Yes, it basically is it's a PowerPoint or live video that you can customize the audio and dynamically replace or edit stuff live on the website. So you don't have to. It basically creates a live video off from a PowerPoint feed. So yeah, that's kind of what it is.
So it's probably great for visitors to the site, but for the members, that's probably when you want more of a, like you said, sharing your screen and going through showing them how to fill out each field in their profile. So,
well, I mean, that's what this one actually does that, right? I mean, so again, it doesn't have to be a live video. This is what we actually did for this particular example. It goes through each one of these, steps on there, and that's what I'll have in the demo, or the default ones that we can have for anybody. It'll kind of walk through all the ones in the form fields in there to fill out, or any other comment stuff. But obviously most of those you probably want customized to your particular directory, but some people just have the default stuff, so maybe good enough. But so this is in draft mode. Obviously it just created that, but see how it has the background music on it now,
right?
So I turned off the audio, so it's not doing it anymore, but it still has the words on there because I still have that turned on. But it basically walks through that, and see, now it's going to the next one, telling them what to fill out, and it would have that narration on it.
And so you've created this from screenshots then?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, so where I think this might help me. I have a problem that I need a solution for, and that's because I have my Facebook group, and what I'm using the Facebook group for the members is mainly it's for news. So any like upgrades that we're putting on, any new features, when we launch, because we don't want to put everything on our Facebook page, the company page, because that's more for visitors coming to the site and trying to attract new members.
Right.
And I'm finding that Facebook, even in your groups, not all your members are getting what you post. There's still algorithms in there.
Right.
So I need a way to be able to connect with all my members to let them know when something new happens. So I could see, could you put this right in the, where you put the join Facebook on mine, right in the dashboard? Well, like, could I put a widget in there with like news and member updates?
You're talking. Hold on.
Yeah, you could have that. You could have that as a tab on your website, but you could also.
I don't want it as a tab. I don't want other people. It's just for members only. So I'm thinking when they're in their dashboard.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what you can do is you can have an embed page. So, like for example, on his, we've got the video linked here, right? But you could just have this page, but it's not linked. Like the only way that you're linking to it is from here, right?
Because I don't have any more room in my tabs, and it doesn't make sense to put any member.
But you can have links to this, the different training or the different particular videos, and you can have it obviously on a page, and then you can have it locked down to certain membership levels only, right? So maybe premium members get the training and the other people don't. And you could, again, you wouldn't be able to get to that unless you link to it off from your dashboard or something. But yeah, that's
my problem. What I'm looking for is something that will specifically just get to my members without having to send them an email, like a newsletter mailing list for them. Because I know they hate it.
You could do something like that. Like, so for example, you could have a page. So he's got this one on that we did for him as well. Like a what's new page or whatever. So like this could be logged on the memberships, and then they're just telling them everything that's new and the date when they added it, and then they just have a call to action button.
Yeah, see, I have that, but again, it's meant for onboarding new members and visitors to the site. What's new? We've launched the holiday guide, but this is more specific, that is just for members. It might even just be, hey, reminding them all your profiles. Some of you have profiles that aren't finished. Just some. I've been trying to use the Facebook group for that, but they're not all getting the messages.
Well, here's what about this? This quick thought is you could do that drop down for what's new, and then do one drop down what's new, and then members, and then visitors, and then because we had a couple of tabs on there, you can also change the tab that. You can only view it if you've logged in as a member. So just visitors, if they're not logged in, they won't be able to see that content. And finally, you could create a separate page, like a landing page, like like we created the partners page, and it's not live on the site right now, but it has a hyperlink to it. So if you go to Podcasters Directory /partners, doesn't exist anywhere on the website, right? But you could direct people there to it, right? So only if you're a member, you get to the whatever content you want to share with them.
Exactly, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, again, it's one of those things, though. You'd have to train them to go looking for it, whereas they're in their dashboard every time.
Yeah, but you can definitely do that. But what he's saying is, you make the page, and then this says you would just add a new bubble here, like we now have blah blah blah, and then they click there, and it goes to the page with that video, that embedded training video.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
As long as it was locked down so that the public didn't see it. It's strictly for members.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to do, because even looking at that visual, that optic of the members page, I mean their login, their dashboard, it still has a lot of content over there to the left or whatever. So, I think between the newsletter or message on Facebook or however you want to direct them there, but also they kind of know anytime they log in, they can click on the what's new page, just like a visitor would click on the FAQ tab,
right?
For basic information. Ryan, I do have some rapid fire questions. I don't know when's a good time to jump in or not, but
sure. Yeah, we are kind of out of time, but we can just go ahead and shout those out. I'm gonna shut down the just the recording here, and then we can go ahead and do that. So again, everybody, thank you for joining this webinar. For number 19, again, we'll have that up on the Directory Toolkit shortly if you guys are interested in getting some of those either baseline Fleeq videos or custom for your site. So until next time, thank you for joining us. Take care.